His escapability? Insane. Knowing when to move, when to strike, Shedeur Sanders just pulled off something that's got the entire NFL world buzzing. During a fiery press conference before facing Pittsburgh, the rookie quarterback got hit with a direct question about his future with the Browns. And his answer? It shocked everyone. Reporters pressed him hard about next season, asking if he's really committed to Cleveland, and Shedeur fired back with a response so bold, so uncensored, that even the Steelers front office had to take notes. He didn't bite his tongue for a second. He questioned everything: the team, his place, and what's next. Now, with the draft just months away and Pittsburgh lurking in the shadows, Browns fans are losing their minds, while Steelers fans are wondering, is Shedeur trying to send us a signal? This wasn't your average rookie giving safe, media-trained answers. This was a statement, loud, fearless, and game-changing. You could feel the tension in that room, like everyone knew something major just dropped. Let's be real. What went down in that press room wasn't about playing it cool or staying polite. This was strategic. It was a message. And if you're a Browns fan, you need to know what your supposed franchise quarterback really thinks about sticking around in Cleveland. Picture it. Shedeur Sanders sitting there, calm but confident, fresh off his best performance, yet as a starter, looking like a man with a plan. The kid went out there and straight up proved he can ball at this level. He's earning respect, building chemistry, and his teammates are starting to rally behind him. Harold Landry even praised him for standing tall in the pocket, taking hits like a pro, and leading the squad like he's been doing this for years. Everything's looking up for Cleveland's future. Right? Wrong. Because when reporter Tony hit him with that question, the one every Browns fan's been scared to ask, things took a wild turn. Tony asked him about his commitment to Cleveland next season, and Shedeur didn't give the usual safe answer. He didn't drop a rehearsed line like, "I'm excited to be a Brown," or "I'm focused on building something special here." Nah, he went totally off script and said something that made the entire Browns front office freeze in their seats. He looked the media dead in the eye and said, "I don't own an organization, so I can't promise anything will happen. I'm not God. I can't dictate what's going to happen each and every day, each and every minute." Let that sink in. Your supposed franchise quarterback, the guy you're banking your future on, just told the world he can't promise he'll even be in Cleveland next season. He literally said the words, "nothing's promised," when talking about his future with the Browns. That's not humility. That's not playing it safe. That's a wake-up call, loud and clear. And the timing? Brutal. This bombshell drops right before Cleveland's biggest matchup of the season. The locker room's tense, the fan base is freaking out, and the front office is probably in panic mode. But here's where things get really spicy, because this is where Pittsburgh starts creeping into the picture. Right before the Browns go head-to-head with the Steelers, this isn't just any matchup. This is a rivalry game, the kind that gets personal. Every hit, every word, every glance across that field means something. And Shedeur knows exactly what this game represents. He's been schooled on the history. He gets how much beating Pittsburgh means to Cleveland fans. Reporters tried to bait him into firing up the rivalry, maybe drop a fiery quote to get the fans hyped. But instead of jumping in with that, "we're gonna crush the Steelers" energy everyone expected, Shedeur stayed completely cool, almost distant. When asked about the rivalry, he calmly said he approaches every game the same way. No extra motivation, no hard feelings toward Pittsburgh, just another Sunday on the schedule. Some folks called that professional. Others said it was smart, avoiding giving the Steelers any bulletin board material. But honestly, it feels like there's something way deeper going on here. Think about it from Shedeur's side for a second. He's a rookie, thrown right into a chaotic mess in Cleveland. The team's falling apart, the coaching staff might not even survive the season, and the front office, total uncertainty. Meanwhile, he's taking punishment behind an offensive line that already gave up 7 or 8 sacks the last time they faced Pittsburgh. This isn't just calm confidence. It's a young player protecting himself mentally and emotionally in the middle of a storm. And that's where things start getting real. Because when you look at how Shedeur's carrying himself, it doesn't feel like just another rookie trying to survive. It feels like a man who's already thinking ahead. You can almost sense it. He's playing chess while everyone else in Cleveland is stuck playing checkers. People close to the team say he's been distant lately, more focused on perfecting his own craft than bonding with the organization. He shows up, handles his business, but once practice wraps, he's gone. No hanging around, no extra media time, nothing. That's got insiders whispering that maybe, just maybe, he's already mentally checked out of Cleveland. And here's where the plot thickens. Pittsburgh's front office has reportedly been keeping tabs on him for weeks. They've been scouting his attitude, his leadership, his poise under pressure, and word is, they like what they see. With their own quarterback situation looking shaky, people are starting to connect the dots. Could Shedeur be eyeing a fresh start just across the division line? If that's true, it would send shockwaves across the league. Imagine the Browns losing their prize rookie to their biggest rival. It would be pure chaos. The city would lose its mind, but it's not impossible. Not when you remember what he said, nothing's promised. It's like every move he's making now has double meaning. Every word, every glance, every game. Whether it's strategy or instinct, one thing's for sure. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing football anymore, he's shaping his own future right in front of everyone's eyes. And now the rumors are spinning out of control. Social media is blowing up with wild takes, fan theories, and insider leaks about where Shedeur might end up next. Some fans are convinced he's done with Cleveland for good, pointing out how he's been liking posts from Steelers players and even following a few of them on social. That might seem small, but in today's NFL, those digital moves matter. The Browns community is split right down the middle. Half of them are defending him, saying he's just keeping things professional and focused on football. The other half, furious. They feel betrayed, saying their young quarterback shouldn't even think about another team, especially the Steelers. And the media, they're eating this drama up like it's primetime TV. But here's the kicker. League insiders are saying that Pittsburgh might actually have the cap space and draft flexibility to make a move if the situation in Cleveland keeps crumbling. Imagine that. One bad offseason and suddenly the Browns' supposed future star is wearing black and gold. It sounds insane, but it's the NFL, and crazier things have happened. Meanwhile, Shedeur's playing it cool. He's not confirming or denying anything. He's just dropping those vague lines like, I'm focused on the next game, or I'm just controlling what I can control. That calm, confident vibe only makes people talk even more. Every time he steps up to the mic now, the tension's thick. You can feel everyone waiting for him to slip, to say something that gives it all away. Because deep down, nobody really knows what Shedeur Sanders is planning. But everyone can feel it. Something big is coming. And just when everyone thinks the drama might cool down, it explodes again. After the latest practice, Shedeur walks into the media room wearing a black and yellow hoodie. The internet loses its mind. Fans zoom in on screenshots claiming it's a hidden message aimed straight at Pittsburgh. Reporters swarm him asking if he's sending a signal, and he just smirks, shrugs, and says, "It's just a hoodie." Yeah, right. That one line set the entire sports world on fire. The Browns front office, silent. No statements, no clarifications, nothing. Which, of course, only adds more fuel to the speculation. Meanwhile, players are starting to feel the weight too. Some teammates are standing by Shedeur, saying he's focused and locked in, while others are clearly getting tired of the non-stop noise. You can almost sense the tension inside that locker room. It's like everyone's walking on eggshells. Cleveland fans are begging for reassurance, but Shedeur's not giving them anything. Instead, he's out there putting on highlight plays, throwing lasers, and keeping his cool like none of this even bothers him. That calmness, it's powerful, and it's confusing everyone. Is he really just built different, or is he already halfway out the door? Then comes the cherry on top. Rumors leak that a certain AFC team, yeah, you can guess which one, has been quietly asking around about his mindset and future plans. It's like the league can smell the drama and they're circling. Whatever's happening behind the scenes, one thing's clear, Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing football anymore, he's controlling the entire narrative, and everyone's watching his every move. Earlier in the season, he went toe-to-toe with that fierce Pittsburgh defense, and now, across that same field, Shedeur's looking at a franchise that's everything Cleveland isn't right now. The Steelers are stable, well-coached, and built on a winning culture. They've got consistency, they've got pride, and soon they're going to need a new quarterback. Best part, they've been watching him closely all season long, right in their own vision. You really think that's not sitting in the back of his mind? Come on, he's seeing what success looks like just a few yards away, and he knows how different his own situation is. And here's the part that's driving Browns fans absolutely wild right now. Reporter Tony asked him point blank if he feels the Browns are committed to keeping him as their starter next year. Shedeur's answer, ice cold. He didn't say, "Yeah, I'm their guy." He didn't even try to fake confidence. Instead, he calmly said, "I can't control that. Just that. No fluff, no emotion, pure reality." Then he added, "The rest isn't in my hands." That right there isn't just a quote, it's a message. That's a young quarterback who's already preparing himself mentally for the possibility that Cleveland might not be home for long. He's staying smart, keeping his options open, and every team in the league, especially Pittsburgh, is paying very close attention, because when a talented rookie starts talking like that, you know the situation's deeper than what's on the surface. Now let's set the record straight. I'm not saying Shedeur's demanding a trade or scheming behind closed doors. What I am saying is that this kid knows the business side of football, and he's smart enough to play the game behind the game. He knows his worth, every bit of it. Shedeur's no fool. He understands that NFL franchises are watching his every move. By staying staying vague. By not locking himself into Cleveland with some empty "I'm loyal" statement, he's keeping all the power in his own hands. That's leverage. And honestly, you've got to respect it. Because here's the truth nobody in the league wants to admit out loud. This kid is playing a smart, calculated game while everyone else is still trying to figure him out. Shedeur Sanders is stuck in a brutal situation in Cleveland, and the way he's handling it, way beyond his years. The Browns are a mess. No real direction, no strong foundation, no proven coaching staff to guide him. Yet week after week, he's out there performing like a pro, taking hits, learning on the fly, and getting better in the middle of chaos. Even his teammate Harold said it himself during that same press conference. Shadow's getting the team in and out of the huddle faster, stepping up in the pocket more, taking hits and making throws. That's growth you can see. He's proving he can evolve, even when the system around him is falling apart. But here's the catch. Development only means something if you're in a place where you can build long-term. And right now, Cleveland can't promise him that. They can't even guarantee the coaching staff will be around next season. So why should Shadow pledge his future to them when they can't even secure their own? And this is where things heat up again, because over in Pittsburgh, they're known for one thing: stability. They build, they develop, and they keep their quarterbacks. You can't blame Shadow for noticing that from across the field. It's the kind of situation every young quarterback dreams about. The Steelers have built their reputation on toughness, hard-hitting defense, discipline, and a system that actually protects their quarterback. And now, with their veteran quarterback situation getting shaky, everyone knows they'll soon need a young leader to build around. Now, let's be real. I'm not saying Pittsburgh's about to trade for Shadow or that he's secretly plotting to get there. That's not how the NFL moves, especially for a rookie. But still, the whispers are getting louder. Because when Shadow drops comments like, "Nothing's promised," and "I can't control the future," those words hit different. That's the kind of talk that makes franchises like Pittsburgh start paying attention. They're sitting there thinking, if Cleveland doesn't lock this kid down, if they don't treat him like the future, if they keep fumbling the organization, maybe he'll want out. And maybe, just maybe, they could be the ones to grab him when the time's right. And honestly, that might be exactly what Shadow wants floating around the league. He's sharp enough to know how this game works, the power of perception, the value of leverage. He's keeping his name hot without even saying too much. But here's the harsh truth that Browns fans are struggling to face. Shedeur Sanders has way more power in this situation than people think. Sure, he's a rookie on a rookie contract, but that doesn't matter when you're a potential franchise quarterback in a league starving for one. If he keeps lighting it up these last few games, showing that poise, accuracy, and command, Cleveland's going to be forced to commit to him. Otherwise, they risk losing the best thing that's happened to their offense in years. And the craziest part, Shadow knows it, and he's playing it perfectly. Cleveland's not going to have a choice, because if they mess this up, if they hesitate, if they bring in competition or fail to build around him, Shadow can make life very uncomfortable for that front office. He's got options, and he knows it. He could quietly request a trade, refuse a contract extension, or even make it known through the right channels that he's ready to move on. And when a young, talented quarterback sends that kind of signal, teams move mountains to get him. We've seen it happen before. When a QB with talent and swagger says he's done, franchises listen. So when Shadow sat there in that press conference and said, "I don't own an organization and nothing's promised," that wasn't just a casual comment, that was a warning shot. What he really meant was, Cleveland, figure out if you want me here, because I'm not going to beg for it. That's not arrogance, that's pure self-respect. That's a young man who knows exactly what he brings to the table and refuses to settle for less. And honestly, what makes all of this even more impressive is how he handled the heat when the talk turned to Pittsburgh's pass rush. Reporter Joe brought up those 7 or 8 brutal sacks from their last matchup and asked what it would take to survive that kind of pressure again, but Shadow, he didn't flinch. He brushed it off like it was nothing. He basically said, paraphrasing here, "I don't focus on stats like that. If you're thinking about what they did before, you've already lost mentally. You're beaten before you even step on the field." That's champion energy. That's mindset over fear. Confidence over chaos. And Browns fans, this is where you've got to pay attention. Instead of panicking about what he might do, maybe it's time to appreciate what you already have. This kid's not just talented, he's mentally built for this league. He doesn't fold under pressure, he doesn't feed into drama, and he doesn't let the media shake him. That's not just a quarterback, that's leadership in real time. Yeah, Shadow's comments were shocking, no doubt about it. They were raw, unfiltered, and definitely made a few people in the Browns front office squirm in their seats. But you know what? That's exactly the kind of quarterback every franchise dreams of having. You don't want someone sugarcoating the truth just to keep the peace. You don't want a guy who pretends everything's perfect while the house is burning down behind him. You want a quarterback who knows his worth, who calls things like he sees them, and who demands better from everyone around him. That's leadership. That's Shedeur Sanders all day long. Despite all the noise, the uncertainty, and the lack of long-term commitment from Cleveland, this kid's still out there showing up every week and putting in work. He's not folding. He's thriving in the chaos. His teammates are seeing it too. Harold even praised him for growing into a true leader, getting the team in and out of the huddle faster, making those tough reads, and keeping his composure when things get ugly. The coaches are trusting him more now. On 4th and 2, they're putting the ball in his hands. He's using his legs when it matters, taking hits, and delivering strikes under pressure. He's doing everything you could possibly ask from a rookie quarterback thrown into one of the toughest situations in the league. So yeah, maybe Shadow's not standing up there declaring eternal loyalty to Cleveland right now. Maybe he's being careful with his words and keeping his future open-ended. Maybe, just maybe, he's subtly letting the front office know it's time for them to show him the same loyalty he's been showing on that field every week. But let's get this straight. It doesn't mean he's quitting on the Browns. It doesn't mean he's secretly plotting an exit. What it really means is that Shedeur Sanders is smart. Too smart to let the NFL chew him up and spit him out like it's done to so many others. He's protecting himself, playing his cards right, and proving that even in the middle of chaos, he's still that guy. Honestly, after seeing how Shadow's handled this whole storm, the pressure, the rumors, the chaos, you can't help but respect the kid. The way he stayed mentally sharp, the way he's grown week after week, leading that offense when everything around him's falling apart. It's impressive, and that's exactly why Browns fans should be doing everything possible to make sure Shedeur Sanders actually wants to stay in Cleveland. Because if they drop the ball here, if they push him away or fail to show him the respect he's earned, they'll regret it for years, maybe even a whole decade. This isn't just about losing a player, it's about losing the future. Meanwhile, teams like Pittsburgh, they're watching closely. They're sitting back, waiting for Cleveland to make that one mistake, that one wrong move that cracks the door open. And if it happens, you can bet they'll be ready to swoop in. So here's the real question, and I want you to sound off in the comments below. Do you think Shedeur Sanders actually wants to stay in Cleveland long term? Or has he already mentally checked out, just waiting for his moment to bounce? Is this whole thing his way of wanting the Browns to step up? Or is it just a 21-year-old rookie keeping it real about a situation that's way bigger than him? And for my Steelers fans out there, let's be honest. Would you want your team to make a move for Shadow if Cleveland fumbles this? Can you even picture it? Shedeur Sanders in black and yellow, leading an offense built on power, defense, and protection. Everything the Browns have failed to give him. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if you think I'm reaching or if you see exactly what I see, because this story, it's far from over. Something tells me we're going to be talking about Shedeur Sanders and his future for a long, long time. And before you go, if you made it this far, you're clearly locked in. Do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because this saga's just getting started. We're breaking down all the NFL chaos, every behind-the-scenes twist, and every hot take the mainstream media is too scared to touch. This is where you get the real scoop on what's actually going down in the league. No filters, no fake headlines, just the truth straight up. Because here's the thing, Shedeur Sanders just proved he's not your average rookie, trying to play nice and say what everyone wants to hear. He's not reading off cue cards or chasing approval. He's speaking his truth, protecting his future, and letting the chips fall where they may. And love him or hate him, you have to respect how he's handled it, like a true franchise quarterback who knows the power of his own voice. Now, the real question, will Cleveland finally rise to the moment and give Shadow a reason to stay? Or will they fumble the biggest opportunity they've had in years and watch him become another team's cornerstone star? Time will tell. But one thing's certain, after that press conference, the whole league's watching, and especially Pittsburgh. Now, if you've been locked in with us through this story, you already know this isn't the end. It's just heating up. So make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment with your take. Do you think Shadow's staying in Cleveland or making a move to the Steel City? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.